Hi everybody, this is Alice at Bejeweled Hedgehog, and this is Cast Off Tuesday on Tuesday. I am so proud of myself. Anyway, I just wanted to say hello. I apologize for not having made a video in quite a while. Having webcam issues for some reason, got sick, got busy, all that stuff. I guess the first thing I wanted to say is thank you to everyone who is subscribing. I am absolutely floored and amazed, and I will do my best to make my videos interesting for you. And down below is a link to all the other cast-off crew members, and they're amazing. I have been watching their videos even though I haven't been able to get one of my own up. And I have just been inspired and seen so many wonderful things. So again, thank you for letting me join, and sorry it's been so long since I've gotten anything ready. Okay, so I guess the first thing, I have done some things, and the first thing I want to show is a little cowl. Let's see, here we go. This is called the Edie Cowl. I bought let me put it on. I bought an Interweave crochet accessories, I guess for winter 2011 or 2012, their most recent one, and I absolutely adore it. I'm going to do a separate review of it because it has so many patterns in it that I really like, and it's called Stash Busting. And, well, it has a big section on stash busting, and that's exactly what this is. This is a cute little cowl. It's made in a very kind of sport weight, I guess. Color is coming out kind of a icky brownish, but it's actually a very pretty dusty mauvey purple. And it's a sport weight chenille, like a very fine little tape. And I think that gives great texture to the cowl. And I really, really like it. Very comfortable and easy to wear. Let's see. Next, I made, this was just not really any specific pattern, and let's see how this is. This is not showing up as well as, oh, there we go. There. It is a beautiful, beautiful yarn, and this yarn is sadly discontinued, although you can still buy it. It is from the Knitpicks website, and it's called Crayon, and it's a 100% cotton boucle, and it is so incredibly soft and lightweight. Cotton is normally very heavy, and I just made a little cowl because the boucle is kind of like the Lion Brand homespun, if you've ever worked with that, how it's kind of hard to see, you know, because it's crinkly. I just did a series of double crochets, but a yarn like this in and of itself is so incredibly pretty, and I'm really sad you can't see how nice it is. The color I think is called Kingfisher, and it's a deep teal blue, and it went on sale on Cyber Monday, you know, those big Cyber Monday sales. I don't think it's on sale now, but it's worth going to the Knitpicks website, you know, and looking at it, seeing if there are any colors you want, because honestly, I have not found, this is one of the nicer cotton yarns that I have ever found, and it's very, very soft, very, very light, perfect for accessories, and they're going to stop making it. Okay, let's see, what else? Okay, I have been making some things to send to a friend of mine who I kept promising to make things for, and then I'd keep looking at it and saying, I don't know if that is really good enough. I don't know if you have a friend who has a lot of personal style, you know, and I always feel a little hesitant to, you know, I kind of think sometimes maybe what I'm making isn't quite good enough. But I finally decided, okay, I'm just going to put stuff together, and out it goes. So in my last video, I showed you a scarf out of this Caron Simply Soft, here we go, Caron Simply Soft yarn. It's called Country Blue, and I made a a tam to go with it. I'm going to put it on, and it's a cute little tam. You can kind of wear it off to the side. You can do a lot of different things with it. There is not really a pattern for it. It's just my, you know, increasing out to where you want it to be, and then gradually decreasing, and then kind of doing a band. And yeah, I can't really show you the back of my head because I'm not sure how well things would go with this camera. So anyway, it's a beautiful yarn, very soft, very shiny. I really like it. The next thing I made was a puff stitch tam. This is going to the same friend. Let's get it up here so you can see it. And what makes this tam special is the yarn. This is an amazing yarn. This is a yarn by a company called Noro, and it's called Crayon, or I don't really know how you pronounce it. It's the Japanese transliteration of the word crayon, and I guess that's because, you know, the colors are so bright and vibrant. It is 100% wool. It's not acrylic, and you can see it's self-striping and variegated. Here, let me put it on. So you have to be, if you're using this particular yarn, you kind of have to be careful that it's going to someone who can, or it's, you know, for yourself, who can wear wool. The Noro yarns are kind of unique in that they are incredibly pretty, but they're kind of rough. You know, I guess I've heard people use the term rustic in, you know, to describe these yarns. And they're pricey. They tend to be about $9 a skein. Now, if you're careful and you shop on the internet, I got these at a sale. I got some of it on sale, half price, for $4.50. I think the yarn is really cool. I would not wear it close to my skin. I wouldn't make a sweater, and I don't know if I'd wear this wrapped up around my neck in a real close scarf. But it's a really fascinating yarn, and when I say rustic, some of their yarns actually seem to have little pieces of straw and things spun into them. So it's kind of an either you love it or you can't stand it. I don't think anybody, when I look at the descriptions of it on Ravelry, nobody seems to be just kind of about it. And what I like to do when I have a yarn that is this, you know, colorful and this unique, it has big, thick patches that are almost like roving, and then it will get, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know, you know, how well it's showing up. But big, thick patches that are almost like roving, and then it has very, very thin sections that are almost as thin as twine. So for crocheting, I just used a simple puff stitch that would focus on the yarn itself. And for knitting, I would say like a garter stitch or a stockinette stitch, something where, since it's so colorful and so uniquely shaped, you might as well just let the yarn do the work for you in this case. And again, this is another tam for which there is no pattern. I just kind of, you know, shaped it myself. Now I did put a link, or I'm going to put a link down below, to the Noro, N-O-R-O website. And they have two. They have one that just shows their different yarns, and you have to click on it to get the English translation. Then they have another one where you can download a PDF that shows the process of their yarn making, and that is so interesting. I loved it. I thought it was fun reading. So in case, you know, you're interested, I stuck that little link down there too. Okay, let's keep on going. Okay, I went to Michael's to get some yarn for a specific project, and the problem with me in yarn stores or craft stores is if I see a sale, then I frequently buy yarn, even though I had made a resolution to not buy, not so much a New Year's resolution, but just a common sense resolution. No more yarn until I start using what I have, because the problem with me in a yarn store is if I'm there and I can pick it up and touch it and squeeze it and see it and it's on sale, or I have a coupon, something comes home with me. So that's why a lot of times, actually, for me, it's probably better to do the internet shopping. I know a lot of people have put up videos talking about what's a good price and what's not. I would say the best price for me is a yarn that I'm actually going to use and not put in the closet and hopefully, you know, have to find a use for because I bought it since it was just so pretty. But anyway, I am rambling. And what this is was Lion Brand Wool Ease had a sale. Buy one, get one free. So it's about $7 a ball at Michael's. So, you know, this knocked it down to $3.50 a ball. So, of course, it was bought. And the thing that I love about wool is the fact that it can be heathered. And I don't think it's showing up on my evil little webcam, which has not been behaving recently. But this is called Sky Blue, and it really is heathered. It has lighter and darker shades of blue in it. And it's a quick and easy pattern that I found on Ravelry, and I'll give you the link, and it's called Convertible Cowl, because if you just pull it over your head, you have this big, gigantic, warm, you know, you could live in Alaska, pull it up around your cowl. But it's also thick enough that it can come up and be a hood. You know, if it should start to rain and you wear glasses like me and you hate the little spots on your glasses, or snow. Thankfully we don't get that much snow in the DC area, but we do sadly get some. So it can come around and be a hood because it is long enough in the back. I hope you were able to see that. So it's called Convertible Cowl. And this is huge because the Lion Brand, I think this was Lion Brand Bulky or Lion Brand Thick and Quick, and I'll have to check their website. Maybe this is like a weight 6 instead of a weight 5, but this is considerably thicker than the Bernat Softy Chunky. So when I made this cowl, I mean, it came out huge. The weather will not get me through this. And I had some yarn left over, so I made 2 little fingerless glove thingies. And I wanted to give people a tip. One of the things that I had never liked about doing tubes is they will often tell you to do a chain, join the chain without twisting it, these easy little words, and then tell you to keep going. And I have found through sad experience that it's impossible for me to join a chain without twisting it. I don't know what happens, but I get to the end and something has twisted. So I have a couple of tips on how to avoid that. The first tip is to do, what do they call it, like a chainless foundation stitch. And Teresa, the Crochet Geek, has tutorials to show you how to do those. And so I putting down below links to all those tutorials, because that's one way of doing it. If instead of chaining 55, then doing and linking and joining it, and then doing your single crochet, if you do just a long line of single crochet, it is much easier to join stitches than it is to join chains. You can much more easily see whether or not a row of stitches is twisted than just a floppy little links of chains. And then the other thing that I do, if you don't like the idea of doing the chainless foundation stitches, is to simply do your chain, but don't join your chain. Go back and do your first row of stitches, whether it's single crochet, double crochet, pattern, whatever, and then join those stitches together at the end, and then keep going around from there. Because again, stitches are so much easier to see, and I have just been flying through little tubey things now that I've finally figured out you don't have to try and join the chain. Some people apparently can. I don't seem able to. So that was my crochet epiphany, and that's why this is here. So I am giving you links to the foundationless chains, and I'm also giving you links to this pattern because this is quick, this is easy. I love scooties, but if you're in a hurry and you just want to sit down with some bulky yarn and throw something together, this tube is a perfect thing because it's warm around your neck and it pulls over and is like a little hood. Okay, moving along and trying to wrap this up. I am making doll clothes for my niece on a doll I don't actually particularly like. These are those expensive dolls. The dolls that when I was growing up, I know my parents could not have afforded it or given it to me. Luckily my nieces do have some. It's the typical 18-inch doll. I don't know if I'm allowed to say American Girl on YouTube, but that's what it is. So even though I actually kind of don't really like them, I mean, this is an expensive toy. And the clothes in the catalog, some of their outfits, their bought outfits from their catalog cost more than I paid for mine. And I'm like, double extra large, so, you know, go figure that out. Anyway, complaining aside, it's actually fun to make doll clothes. And Erin at Give Me Yarn, you had wanted pattern testers for these dolls, but I am unfortunately sort of overwhelmed with requests for things from friends and family members, and I don't have time to test anything. Although if you put that pattern up, I will be first in line at some point because, you know, my nieces always want these. So anyway, this is a doll poncho, and I've put the link to it below. And the skirt is, there we go. The skirt is a modification of the poncho. And I'm not going to tell you how I did it, but I mean, once you make the poncho, if you are making doll clothes, you'll see right away, because I'm just sort of afraid with all this copyright stuff, you know, that I'm stepping on some kind of toes. So anyway, it's a fun and beautiful little poncho, and it's very easy to modify into a skirt. And this is out of Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, which I can get at the local AC Moore in big 1-pound mill-in bags. And they like to put out, just like Michael's, the 40% off coupons, so I use a lot of it. Okay, my last thing, it's kind of over the top. I wanted to make a gift for a very special aunt who has been so helpful. My mother passed away on Thanksgiving weekend, and while she was in the hospital, my aunt and uncle were on the phone with me every day. They called me. They were so comforting and so helpful. I wanted to make gifts for them. I tend to be a little flamboyant, and I realize now I'm not giving this to the aunt because it would bury her. I'm making her something else. But I saw other people on YouTube making these curly Q ruffle scarves, so I decided I would make one. But, you know, I have a tendency to not really read my patterns closely, so I didn't pay that much attention to how long I was making the chain. I just, you know, chained away and started in on it, and I made a huge scarf. This is Loops and Threads Impeccable Worsted Weight. It's an acrylic yarn, and it's in a color called Bronze, which I haven't seen in a while, so it may be discontinued. My sister got it as a clearance on at Michael's. It is edged with, and this is an extra row of stitching that the pattern didn't call for. It is edged with Red Heart Super Saver in white with little Vanna's Choice. I'm holding together 2 strands. You can't really see the glimmer here, unfortunately. Vanna's Choice, not Vanna's Choice, Vanna's Glamour, and it's white with little gold threads in it, and I held it together with the white yarn. So now I have white and gold edging on here, and it's very pretty, and it's outrageously big and ruffly. This is doubled, by the way. Then I decided to make kind of like a 1920s flapper hat and a flower, and I went ahead and stitched, I'm trying to get myself in front of the camera, and stitched the brim up. And I did just kind of, I'm not sure what you would call this edging, crochet in the row below. You know, I did a row of single crochet edging, and I just kind of randomly poked down into lower stitches to give it this asymmetrical, uneven finish here. Then the flower is from the Crochet Geek. It's called the Slinky flower, and I'll put the link to it down below. And here also, here's a little bead button that I used in the middle. And this is what it looks like on... Oh, I seem to be sort of mirror imaged. Anyway, I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I think it looks very cute. And it's the kind of thing I would wear, but I have a feeling my aunt would be a little intimidated. Then I made long fingerless gloves to go with it. Glamorous fingerless gloves. Let me put one on. And I did the same thing. I did the edging. Oops. When they have flowers on the back of the hand, they actually, it matters which side the thumb hole goes in. Okay. So, here are the long, elegant fingerless gloves. And I would wear this, and I love this. I feel like a movie star. But I just don't think that my 70-year-old aunt would feel like a movie star. And I am thinking, I have a little beads, little pearl beads. I don't know if you can see that well. Putting little pearl beads in the center of the flowers. And this webcam is really behaving crappy. I mean, my first video came out so much better than this one. Anyway, I am so glad to be a part of the cast-off crew. I am not going to attempt to add that beautiful little cast-off crew logo until I get some of these camera issues figured out. There is one. It was made by Morgan, who is Neen of Neen Crochet's husband, and you can see it on other people's videos. And by next week, hopefully, you will be seeing it on mine. That's kind of it for now. I would like to put out some more videos. I think I will probably share with you my basket of UFOs, basket of shame, short attention span, what do you want to call it, ADD, anyway. So that's it. Again, I'm just amazed. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for letting me make these videos, everybody. Okay, have a very good night.